Happy New Year, everybody, here on the Cutting Room Podcast. I hope you guys enjoy your holidays. Welcome to the very first episode of 2026. And what a way to start it off, honestly, with my first ever triple threat interview here at the podcast place in North Long Beach. Really excited about this episode. We have a special guest, but first of all, another thing, I have a co-host today. We have Charles Grace.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Nice, Charles. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for playing a big part in this interview. In reality, you really made this interview happen, and it brings me great pleasure to introduce our guest today from the UK, singer-songwriter, your favorite wrestler's favorite singer, Adam Kirkup. Adam Kirkup, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Great. So right off the back, let's just kind of get into the first question and really the nitty-gritty of these topics. Who got you, or how did you get into professional wrestling?
Yeah. So the first time around, when I was a kid, it was my two older brothers. And it was very much in like the Bret Hart, British Bulldog era of wrestling. They had the little plastic ring and the figures. So I remember Bret Hart is the first wrestler I remember like knowing who he was. And I would have been like 7 or 8 years old, and then started watching it over here in the UK with them and got really into the Attitude Era. Was a big Mankind fan, big Jeff Hardy guy. And then kind of recently got into it again because I have a son who started watching WWE.
Oh,
and
cool.
So I feel like I had kind of a hiatus in between. And it's been amazing coming back into it and reliving all these moments I had with my brothers as a kid, and then getting to share in the modern stuff with my son. And so I've been catching up on some of the stuff in between. I was like vaguely aware of it, you know, John Cena and Roman Reigns. I was aware that was going on, but I feel like I got into it, and now I'm back into it again and loving it.
Nice. What a great story, honestly. We haven't had the pleasure to have Charles on the show, but Charles, what got you into pro wrestling, or how'd you get into it as well?
Yeah, so maybe somewhat similar to what Adam shared. When I was 6 years old, I had a neighbor across the street from my house who invited me over to play with him, and I remember I had to jump over like a wall to get to his house. But I walked in, and he had all these action figures. He had all this is 97, so if he had anything, it was probably like an N64 or something like that. But he was like very passionate, and he would say all of the catchphrases, and I honestly thought he was kind of strange. But he was my gateway into it. I soon after that became just like him. I got really into it. So my similar era that Adam was describing on the second go round, I think I came in that 97 in the Attitude Era. So my guy was Stone Cold Steve Austin forever and always. I was only 6. I didn't even have a job or a boss to beat up, but man, did I look up to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like I still don't drink to this day, but I love, there's just something so freeing about seeing, I've like thought about this since, but I knew that Stone Cold Steve Austin was only like a little bit acting. Like I knew he was mostly being himself. And that's really what like for shy 6-year-old me, I'm like, yeah, that guy has the courage to be himself.
Adam, you being from the UK, how did you gain access to actually watching the product?
Yeah. So I was thinking about this, and we didn't have kind of cable satellite TV. So it must have been on one of the regular British TV channels. I remember watching it on TV on like a Saturday morning with my brothers sitting in the living room. So it would have been after the event, like reruns of Raw. But it was somewhere, and we'd get like Christmas annuals. You know, you get like the big hardback book for kids with all the like stats and the facts in. I remember WWE annuals. And in fact, when we got the like dial-up internet for the first time on our big like family computer, the first website I went on was the WWF website. I don't know what I was trying to find. I don't know what I was hoping for, but I was like, we have access to a world of information now at the touch of a button. What could I possibly want to know? let's go and see what Steve Austin's up to. Let's. I can't even remember what I saw on there, but that was the first website I ever visited. Was the WWF, not the animals, the wrestlers.
Yeah, yeah. Before.
No, that's when the website kind of had like the bios that you could go down on each wrestler and look at their bios and their highlights and everything. It was like such a great era. But today's episode is really themed about pro wrestling, and on this show we talk about films, but today we're going to talk about pro wrestling and music.
Yep.
The influence that music has on the industry and the product. Both of you being singer-songwriters, I have to ask you right off the bat, top 5 or Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling theme songs, and we'll start with Adam.
Okay. Undertaker.
Which version?
Which Undertaker song?
So the original, the Jim Johnson, like do 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 do. Just because of all the intros, that has the most aura of all time. Like it's everything goes dark. Ding. Iconic.
Nice.
Just the best.
Nice.
Best intro of all time. I go Stone Cold. I think purely the glass smashing at the start, because when you hear it, you're like, okay, like huge pop, everyone goes crazy. Stone Cold comes out, cracks open a couple of beers, good times. But I'd choose it even if it was just that first second of just the smash. I'm gonna go John Cena. Time is now.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like even non-wrestling people know that song.
For sure they do.
Like,
For sure
I feel like
do.
most kids my son's age would know, like, do, 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 do. I think that one's transcended wrestling.
Yep.
And John Cena's kind of good.
Oh, as a rapper, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I'm a 37-year-old white guy from England, so maybe I'm not the person to speak on that topic, but I think he's kind of good.
No, he absolutely. He absolutely was.
And I'm gonna go. Oh yeah, what were you gonna say?
Oh no, he's absolutely. I have to bring it up before I forget. It has to with the battle rap that happened at No Mercy 03 when he rapped against the fan in the backstage area when he was about to walk in.
Yeah.
That rap was actually pretty good. Like he says, he does have skill. Whether he doesn't show it anymore or not, he was really it at that time. Whether, some people like to call him the Marky Mark or Mark Wahlberg of that era, but he really had skills. And it's a great point that you bring up, Adam. What else did you have on your list?
Rey Mysterio.
Which one?
The POD Rey Mysterio entry.
The who's that jumping out the sky?
That's the POD one is the Booyaka. Right?
Is it Booyaka?
Yeah.
Okay.
Booyaka 619. Mainly because POD, that whole kind of new metal, rap rock, like Y2K moment, so nostalgic. Mm-hmm. Also, his whole thing on the Tron, like, it's so cool. Rey Mysterio's entry is very cool.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And he's a 50-year-old guy. And he's, if I could be that cool when I grow up, that'd be amazing. So that's my Rushmore. That's 4.
That's really good. This is a good list, wow. Honestly.
That's are we allowed to do repeats or?
Absolutely. If you want to change it at all, it's your mountain.
Oof. Because my number one. This is like going to be, how somebody's like they're always asking like this or that. It's like if we're talking wrestling, like every category for me, my number one's going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like I don't know. Even if you ask me who has the best Hurricanrana, I'm still going to tell you Stone Cold Steve Austin. So yeah, I would second my number one to Adam's point. Stone Cold Steve Austin theme song, largely. So Damien and I were talking about this previously, but there's something about the sound effects that was so compatible with music for us in the 90s. For like we were talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin with the glass smash, Mankind's intro, if you remember, that started with a car crash. And then in some cases, if it wasn't like an iconic sound effect, it would be a voice, right? So The Rock's "If You Smell," or I just went back and rewatched WrestleMania 15 in preparation for this interview. And I got to tell you, man, do you remember the New Age Outlaws? So this is my number 2. This is my number 2. Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. Because even at the beginning of WrestleMania 15, when Billy Gunn walked out, I forgot this when I was a kid. even when Billy Gunn walked out without Road Dogg, the entire crowd was so loud saying, "Oh, you didn't know!" Like, so that for me is the '90s, man. And I got to see Road Dogg at an indie show later and get his autograph. For me, as like a '90s kid, yeah, I would say Stone Cold Steve Austin #1, New Age Outlaws #2. #3, again, I think it's just the way that it unites the crowd, especially for us in our 30s, right, and then 40s. Like, it's just there's something about "Sexy Boy," Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially Adam, I'm so jealous. Like when I saw, even in 2017, when they started the UK version of NXT. They started kind of a UK branch of WWE roster. And Shawn Michaels at this time is retired. He just walked out to the ring in a suit and a cowboy hat. And the crowd turned the entire arena into a pub. And they would the music stopped, but the crowd was like, no, we're finishing "Sexy Boy." Like this is sacred to this, like.
For sure.
Yeah, it was just that made me really, really excited to see, like, wow, even all these years later and across the pond, I'm like, wow, like this is crazy. This song is so silly, but
oh yeah,
but it works.
No, it really is.
So yeah, I would say Austin, New Age Outlaw / Road Dogg, "Sexy Boy." I don't know if I could do like a Batman Two-Face on my last face on Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
I can't decide between the original, like, "You want some? It's on," like that, or the game, Triple H, like the Motorhead. Like, I'm like, dude, like, I have a Two-Face on my last one. It's kind of cheating, but yeah, it's like that original, the game, when he wore like the Samuel L. Jackson fedora and like and the dad jeans. Like, I was all about that. Triple H scared me. Like, all of his punches, like everything. But then the Motorhead entrance, I just think of Triple H with the world title coming up through the stage of WrestleMania. I'm just like, gets me hyped. So anyway,
I'll just give you guys my those are really good choices on both ends. Those two mountains are honestly majestic with those names. I will give you guys mine, and it's a little odd, but it's what gets me pumped. Like, my whole gym playlist is wrestling theme songs. So we got Billy Kidman's "You Could Run," which is the one he used in his heel run, I think, in 03.
What?
Yeah, Billy Kidman's.
Okay.
I got to put Shawn Michaels's, but with Sensational Sherry singing "Sexy Boy." I don't know, her voice. I've always loved, like.
Are you listening to that at the gym?
Absolutely. YouTube.
I'm just picturing you like pressing weights, like,
and
Shawn.
I'm over here, and I have. I hope somebody's holding a mirror next to me. You know what I mean? Then we would have. Oh my God. I would put Scott Steiner's, because brings it back to what you said about the initial sound. When you hear that siren, you think, "Oh man, something's coming," and then you hear the "Holla if you hear me," and
Yep.
That would be 3 Scotts, and then 4th, I think I'd have to put Evolutions.
Oh,
Evolution.
Also Motorhead
as well, great choices, man.
Yeah.
But we're talking about music, pro wrestling, and that really what brings us here today, and why we have Adam here as the guest, honestly, because I'm scrolling through my phone one day and I come across a video of a man holding a guitar. And I think the title was like, "Can a person write a song using commentary from a pro wrestling match?" And it was Hell in the Cell, 1998. 1998,
Yes, yeah.
Mankind versus Undertaker.
King of the Ring, 98, yeah.
And I actually listened to it, but because my phone cleared, I'm like, no, I lost it. Like, I can't go back and see it. No, like, and I'm like, maybe it just wasn't meant to be. Sure enough, probably the next morning, I get a text message from you. I wake up to it and I'm like, "Hey man, I don't know if you've seen this video. I've reached out to the singer. His name's Adam. Told him about you, and maybe we can make something happen." And sure enough, the next thing I see as well, the notification, was a message from Adam himself reaching out. So first of all, Charles, thank you for making this happen. Adam, I got to ask you, what was the thought process when you first made Hell is in Pittsburgh Tonight?
Yeah, I'd love to pretend it was really profound. I'd been writing songs about wrestling only from like this summer. I was at a songwriting retreat I was having breakfast with a guy and I was like, I want to write a song about wrestling. And he was like, just do it then. Which is good advice. So, but I thought they were going to be kind of these really like using wrestling as a tool to explore. Like I wanted to write one about a tag team that fall in love, and I'd written one kind of about growing up watching wrestling and like fighting with my brothers, which I think is a great song. Like, and then I was like, okay, I'm having fun with this, and I'd written one about Rey Mysterio, which was more kind of storytelling narrative thing. So I was just watching the Hell in the Cell, as you do. I was visiting my mum, just watching it, and I was just writing down like commentary calls from the match that I thought could work as a lyric. And when I got to the end of the match, which is like what 28 minutes long or something, I'd written down pretty much the entire commentary. So I was like, well, if it's all good lyrics, why isn't it just all the lyrics? But it was very much like this will be fun. Wrote it down. It took a couple of hours, and it was a fun songwriting exercise. And I thought that would be that, and then shared the first part on Instagram, and it got a few thousand views, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then it just kept kind of going crazy. So then I shared the other three parts, and so it was fun. I was just doing it for fun, just being weird and having fun. Which it turns out maybe that's actually the secret sauce to cracking the internet algorithm. Be weird and have fun.
How did the opportunity? Well, first of all, I got to talk about a photo I see right behind you. It's the Hell in the Cell photo.
Yeah.
And we got to bring up the man up there, up on top of the cell. Honestly, how did the opportunity come about to open up for Mick Foley himself?
Yeah, it was a series of very fortuitous coincidences, I think. So when it was kind of having a bit of a moment on Instagram, I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if Mick was actually going to be in England sometime and I could somehow connect with him? So I went on his website and I was like, oh, he's touring in England right now. Like he's playing in Liverpool next week, which is 30 minutes from where I live.
Yeah.
So then, I was just seeing people were tagging him in the comments, and then tagging other kind of wrestling people and wrestling related people. So I just asked my followers, which I didn't have a lot. I still don't have like huge numbers. It's quadrupled recently, but like I didn't have a lot. But a bunch of people just tagged him in the comments, and then it turns out it was Bret Hart's niece messaged me to say, oh, I've seen your video. I've seen people are tagging Mick. I'll text him because he was off Instagram for a while. I'll text him and see what he says. And so I think he kind of begrudgingly, I then got like a screenshot of his text, and it was like, okay, like maybe he can open up for the show in Liverpool. And then, so I didn't know what to do. When I got that message on my phone, I was like, I just stood up and walked around the house because I was like, what do I do? What do I do with this? So yeah, I ended up playing a show in Liverpool with him. And rather than opening up for him, he's like, no, we're going to close the night. We're gonna close the night with this song because everybody wants to hear me talk about Hell in the Cell. And he was like, I did one tour when I didn't talk about it, and it was like a band that didn't play their greatest hits. So we're gonna talk about it, but rather than just talk about it, I'm gonna like intro you, and you're gonna come up and sing. So we were just kind of working it out on the fly. So I did that, and then he comes. So there's a video of him then like coming back on stage and singing it with me, which I didn't know was going to happen, but he was like explained it afterwards, and he was like, yeah, people are gonna take videos and share them online, but they're gonna do it a lot more if I'm in them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, first of all, that's amazing, like an amazing level of just the awareness of the power that he has, and the wanting to just use that for my benefit, which was amazing. I was just really grateful for it. So then I ended up doing it again the next night in Liverpool, and then he was like, why don't you just come over to Dublin? I'm doing some shows in Dublin. So I flew over and closed a couple of his shows in Dublin as well, which is crazy. And on the final night, he like did the normal intro that we'd worked on. He went off and disappeared into the toilets, and I was just on my own in front of like 300 fans in a comedy club who had not come to see me, and they certainly hadn't come to see me close the show and do the Hell in a Cell bit, because that's his bit. But then he came out in full Mankind garb with like the shirt on and the mask, and he was like, he leant over to me. He's like, I'm gonna sing it like Mankind. So it's like, and he doesn't talk like that because he's like, I'm gonna sing it like Mankind. So he's like, oh, good. And he's doing the whole thing, and I was like, this is incredible. This is like a fever dream right now. I don't know what's going on. And then there was confetti, and there was like the big smoke machines. And I was like, I normally play shows to like 40 people in a pub or like a cafe. And I had fog. I had Mankind. It was great. So yeah, just a lot of people being really, really kind, much kinder than they needed to be, and kind of saying yes to weird opportunities that came up. That was wild though.
That's really, hearing that, what he did for you, or like the way he thought about it, I think that's really like a pro wrestler's mind of like, everyone's heard this story. We've all seen the match. We know what it is, but we have something different here. We have a person that took the art and ran with it. And I think he saw that in you. And I think that's giving back. That's giving back, especially like for a younger, like when a veteran wrestler goes against a rookie, and he's like, I'm going to give back to you. And that's really like a really good story to hear, honestly. That's so great. And that's really all credit to Mick Foley himself.
Yeah.
Any of you guys have to bring it up now since we're talking about the man himself. Favorite Mick Foley moments? Adam?
Yeah, I mean, in the ring, there's a few. I really love him switching to Cactus Jack, the whole Triple H storyline where he's like, I can't fight you, but I know someone who can. And then he's like, he just takes off his shirt, and underneath he's Cactus Jack. And Triple H looks like he's seen the most terrifying specter. That's a pretty good one. In the ring, Mick Foley, I have a personal one, which is we were going around the Guinness factory in Dublin, which you have to do if you're there. And somehow he got a microphone, which was connected to like the PA system. And there's maybe like 300 or 400 people in there for a tour. And there's a few like, it's generally like husbands kind of embarrassedly coming up and asking for a picture with him while the rest of their family are like, oh, what's he doing? But Mick Foley gets a microphone and he's just singing my song over the tannoy of the Guinness brewery in Dublin. So that's my favorite, like, out of the ring Foley moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Adam, Charles, you got a favorite Mick Foley moment?
Yeah. Adam, it's like, it just warmed my heart. Like I'm sure you've heard that saying as well. Like it's very common to hear, like, don't meet your heroes. And I was just having this conversation with my girlfriend. God bless her. She listened to me talk about Mick Foley for like 45 minutes. And she didn't break up with me. So that was
a keeper.
Yeah, she was absolute keeper, 100%. But I told her, just talking about like meeting heroes, I was like, it's really encouraging to hear that you had this experience here now in 2025, and then we're in 2026. But I first met him. I'm starting with, I guess, the out of the ring moment. I met him at my very first live wrestling event in 2004. So I grew up on the East Coast of the United States in South Carolina, and I saw him at an independent show. This is 2004. This is the same year that he had the famous match with Randy Orton that he says is his favorite match, where he dropped Randy on the tacks. Like, the same year that happened, I met him in an independent show in a high school gymnasium. And I remember it was a charity event. And of course, as you know, like for any of us in this generation, like growing up seeing Mick Foley in person, I mean, he is one of the Mount Rushmore of the Attitude Era, like without a shadow of a doubt. Like he's one of the people you think of, especially the white shirt, the tie, the mask, Mr. Sacco, Rock and Sock. I mean, he's all of these things for me are just welling up. I'm a young teen at the time. And I remember I'm close to the front of the line to meet him. This is 2004, so you can get an autograph. And I had like a toy version of the Attitude Era Tag Team Championship belt that I had for me and my brother when we would fight at home. So I brought that. And I remember we got close to the line, and one of the attendants who was kind of working the event, I was close enough to hear him say like, hey, we've got to wrap this up. And I remember Mick Foley just like very calmly, very politely, he wasn't rude to the guy. He just turned to him and said, hey, So yeah, I'm not leaving until everybody that is in line has an opportunity to take a photo and do an autograph. And that was like right before I walked up to see him. So it's just really encouraging to hear. As far as like an out of the ring moment, it's like, wow, like I got to meet a hero and he's actually really cool. He genuinely cares, and it sounds like that's always been the case. Everybody I've talked to who's had the privilege of meeting him has stories like yours, where he goes out of his way to like really make something personal memorable. And in your case, he literally did the favor for you. He literally, he did the honors, if you will. So I think that's, out of the ring, that's cool. In the ring, my favorite, is it just Mick Foley moment in general?
Whether it be any of the faces of Foley.
Man, I think I'm also partial to Cactus Jack. Like my mind goes there because I love that there's like little details I remember. I love that he was announced as being from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. I love that. I love the leopard boots. I love like Adam mentioned earlier. I like that his opponents would really sell the fact like, well, this is a different, scarier version of Mick Foley. Like we don't mess with this guy. Like I think of him,
especially when Triple H and him were having the run up to Royal Rumble 2000, and he, I can't do this as Mick Foley, but I know somebody who could, beat you, and he takes the shirt off and has a cactus shirt under. That was such a great moment.
Yes.
That's really good.
So probably that era, like when Cactus Jack kind of really made his return to WWE television. Like I think it was the first time Mick Foley was retiring with Triple H, and they were building up to the Hell in a Cell. I believe there was like a famous moment on top where
he lights the 2x4.
Somebody lights a 2x4 on fire. It was kind of the art of deception, and then I think Triple H.
Oh, that would have been No Way Out. It would have been No Way Out.
So I think that really sticks out to me. My favorite Mankind moment in the ring. Sorry, Cactus Jack versus Triple H, Royal Rumble 2000, Madison Square Garden. Yeah, that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite wrestling matches. Period. But I think my favorite moment. Mick Foley, Cactus Jack versus Triple H. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my number one.
Do you guys recall when they honored Mick Foley? I think this was when Stone Cold was the general manager of Raw, and they played like this highlight video for him on Raw, and they had "So Far Away" by Stained.
Yeah.
Do you recall that? You guys recall that moment? That was probably my favorite Mick Foley moment. And it kind of really brings up to what I'm going to talk to next about this whole music and pro wrestling. Because at that era, I feel like was probably the number one era for theme songs when it comes to pay-per-views. Because pay-per-views had really good theme songs at that time.
For the vignettes and the montage videos.
Exactly. Yeah. Adam, do you have a favorite pay-per-view theme song of all time? Whether it be a Mania, whether it be any of the PLEs or pay-per-views?
Man, it's the obvious one, but the Limp Bizkit My Way, that whole like montage of Stone Cold and The Rock. And it's all like sepia. It's so kind of turn of the millennium, like stylized. Yeah, I mean, maybe Limp Bizkit hasn't aged that well, but that's such a moment, and that's such like it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't cool, and now it's cool again. I think it's cool, but like, that whole thing, that's great. So I'm going Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit. Do you have one, Charles? What's yours?
Man. Like that whole era, I remember, because Adam, you can appreciate this. It's funny, like we're both wrestling fans that also have like a sensitive side, musically, like but I remember feeling like so teary-eyed and melancholy whenever, at the end of a montage video, you hear "When You Are With Me," it was like the most dramatic Creed song over every, like it was like the end of every Royal Rumble or pay-per-view, and I'm like, yeah, like. Creed really made me think about life. And that really made me like think like, wow, like wrestling and life and it's stuff is so dramatic, and like I'm only 11, but man, life is it was Creed just made me feel older than I was. I'm like, yeah, this is important, and like life is serious.
What's that?
I think my favorite
Creed's, they're back in the ring, right? With Jeff Hardy and Joe Hendry doing the Creed stuff.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Shout out to Joe Hendry. Wait, if we said his name.
Does he appear? Yeah. Hey, you never know. We're putting out in the world. You never know. We might have Joe Hendry here on the podcast one day. I would love to get him, especially, having more musicians.
The UK connection?
Exactly. It's a little eerie. It's like the stars are aligning maybe for the future. But I got an honorable mention of theme songs for pay-per-views. It's gonna be like the worst match. I see why it's not a good match, but the pay-per-view overall I think was good. Was the match with Triple H and Scott Steiner. The video vignette, the promo video had Trust Companies Fall Apart. I don't know if you guys remember the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was when they did the push-up segment.
The push-up.
All that. I thought it was just such a good promo video.
Yeah.
That's honorable mention.
Okay.
Number one theme song, and it's going to kind of piggyback off Adam here, but WrestleMania 19's Limp Bizkit, Crack Addict.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
And I think mistake me if I'm wrong, but you also have done the commentary for Rock and Austin WrestleMania 19. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Nice.
I have done that.
I have to ask the question.
Yeah.
Is 17 better than 19?
I'm going to let Adam start.
No.
No? Okay.
I think the stakes, watching it back now, knowing that Austin it's going to be his last WrestleMania,
Mm-hmm.
I think with the benefit of hindsight, 19 is a much more poignant watch now. So I'd say 19 is my one. I also think it's like The Rock at like the peak of his fame.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I just love watching it. I realize now, watching it back, what you were saying about Steve Austin, like only being a little bit of an act and it being really real. Like I was so convinced by him as a kid. And just the way they move in the ring, like he has such a distinctive way of moving. But The Rock, man, he moves so well.
Yeah.
Like everything, like if you watched it in silhouette, you'd be like, that's The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way he moves is cool. I also think Mick Foley had such a distinctive way of moving, like kind of like sideways.
The limp of like life's been rough on me. Like he has battle scars. He walked like
we need some more distinctive movers in wrestling these days. Some people with but yeah, I think 19 for me. I just think like the story, the commentary is so good because it's so biased, and I know it always is, but like it's really a love story between Jim Ross and Steve Austin. That match, it's like, oh, I love it. So from a storytelling perspective, from just like The Rock being at the peak, the whole sharpshooter angle in it, like the callbacks, 19 is an excellent wrestling match.
Adam, can I ask you, this is like a segue / but can I ask you if you ever had the privilege of meeting Jim Ross?
I haven't. He's going to be in Manchester next month, which is really close to here. He's doing For the Love of Wrestling in Manchester. So maybe I could get over there.
I thought of this on the drive over here. Of course, I was listening to more of your songs, both the wrestling and non-related stuff. But I thought to myself, I've heard wrestlers, most recently Cody Rhodes has said this, right? If like what we're making in the ring is music, then the people on commentary are the ones writing the lyrics. They're the ones putting the lyric to our music. And I thought, like, gosh, to your point, man, especially for us, the millennial generation, it's like, dude, if anybody was writing the most memorable lyrics for us to listen to in wrestling, the reason I have all this knowledge that has never left my head, it's Jim Ross. And
for sure. I'd be terrified for him to hear this song. Like, I was really happy for Mick to hear it. I'd probably be happy for Taker to hear it, but I'd be pretty scared to hear what Jim Ross thought of it.
So there was a film that came out within the last year or so called Queen of the Ring. And Jim Ross was one of the executive producers on the film. It was about Mildred Burke, and he knew her. So anyway, I went to the premiere. It was like the pre-national premiere or whatever. And it was at a very small theater here in California. And Adam, when I tell you, I saw Jim Ross get out of just like a regular rental car. And I forgot that I was a 30-something-year-old man. Adam, I jumped out of the chair and I ran to him like a little kid. And I got about halfway over to him and I realized, like, wait, I'm in my 30s. This could be considered assault. Like this, this could be, I'm like he's old and he doesn't know who the hell I am. So I was like, I stopped almost like Looney Tunes. I was like, woo! I was running so quickly. I almost fell over because I stopped. And then I just awkwardly tried to stand close to him and then be like, oh, hey, Jim Ross. Hey, I just, It was the most awkward thing ever, but he was so cool. I hope you can meet him. But yeah, like I just thought being able to meet him, he had a little blazer on. He was taking some photos of people, and I just said like, I just as excited as I was, I turned into like this like reverted, like almost like a salted snail. I just quivered up, and then I just said, "Hi, Mr. Ross. I just want to tell you I'm a big fan." And he's and I remember what he said to me. He said, "You have to excuse me." He's like, "I can't smile because half my face is paralyzed." And I'm like, and I thought to myself, I said, and he said, he's like, "I'm not mad at you." He's like, "I'm not pissed off." He's like, "I just, half my face is paralyzed, but it's nice to meet you." And I said, "Yes, I know, Mr. Ross." Yeah, in my head, I'm like, "Yes, we all know. Like, we know everything about you. We know half your face is paralyzed. We know you had Bell's palsy. It was just so funny, like having that brief interaction with him and getting to tell him, as your song so appropriately highlights, sir, you literally are the voice of so many childhoods. You're the reason that we remember these things. You're the reason that you're inspiring grown men to write songs." It's like that. We don't have that without people like him who really were the soundtrack. They helped us. And I'm sure people like Taker and Foley, to your point, it's like I'm sure they're very thankful because like part of the reason that match has lived on the way that it has, I would say in large part is because of this commentary. So anyway.
Do you guys have a
For sure.
favorite? Do you guys have a favorite commentary call in a pro wrestling match, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, stomping mud holes and walking them dry. As a kid, I had no idea what that meant. Especially, I think, as a kid on the other side of the Atlantic, I was like, "What? He's doing what now?" But it's on loads of T-shirts now, and I think it's so poetic. I don't even know. Is that like a phrase that exists outside of Jim Ross's mind?
I got to tell you, even growing up in the U.S., and I grew up in the south of the U.S.
Mm.
Jim Ross is from Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even growing up in the South, Adam, I get to be honest with you, never heard it until Jim Ross, and I think people started saying it in the South after Jim Ross.
Yeah, but I like how that's lived on in like you hear it in other matches now. It's like, oh, stomping a mud hole and that guy, and you're like, what does it mean? So I love that. It's just so poetic. It's almost like Hemingway. Like it's incredible. I love it.
I'm gonna tag team on that just because I literally remembered it as you were saying it, Adam. I'm gonna tag team that and say, "Boy, he was tougher than a $2 steak." Do you remember that one? I remember this.
Yeah.
He would say he's tougher than a $2 steak. What else would he say? He's what were some other Jim Ross calls?
What has to be my favorite, honestly, below the second or above the second one would be when he called Undertaker versus Hardy ladder match Raw for the undisputed title, where he's like, "Climb the ladder, kid, make yourself famous." And I'm like, and he said it with so much passion. I love Jim Ross. That's for sure probably my number one with Jim Ross when he yelled that. Because it was such a pivotal moment, especially in Jeff's career.
Yeah.
Because now Taker was putting him over. And also for sure, I got to put my number 2 spot for calls of commentary, Michael Cole during the Eddie Guerrero match between Brock of like, "Come on, Eddie, do it, Eddie." And then Taz is like, "Eddie cheated." Like, I just love that moment in that match.
Yeah. And maybe not like a specific call, but do you all remember, this is just kind of the emotion and the energy that stays with me. Do you remember the passion and when I say believable, like I said, like I don't think he was acting believable. The anger that Jim Ross would have at the heels sometimes.
With Triple H?
Oh my God. Like Jim Ross's anger toward Triple H in like 2003 or his anger toward Eric Bischoff, you're like, damn, like this guy might quit. Like he might just leave the commentary table. And then, this is like Kane lit him on fire one time, just like, damn, like I think Jim Ross might quit.
He was like, "You son of a bitch. Why?"
Yeah, like, or in the Attitude Era, like Jim Ross's hatred toward Vince. At one time, I think Ross and McMahon were commentary partners, and they were like very heated toward one another. I'm like, damn, like as a kid, I'm like, I don't think they really like being together.
We talked about commentaries being so important to pro wrestling and what it does to the story. But I got to ask you, the music, we got to get back onto the music a bit because it's so important as well to the characters. This is a question I've been wanting to ask on this show, and it's been an idea I've had, and I'm so happy I could finally say it, especially to you two, and I hope it's... do you ever think that the Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame, will ever give musical acts their spot in the Hall of Fame, whether it be Limp Bizkit, we talk about Drowning Pool, we give Red Hot Chili Peppers have provided music.
Creed needs to be in there.
Creed is in there. All the documentaries as well had so many great songs. Do you think the WWE will ever give the Hall of Fame spots to musical acts?
Wow, great question. So Jim Johnson wrote so many iconic tunes in the 90s. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
No.
He's not. No.
He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Doesn't that blow your mind that he's not in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Like Kid Rock and Donald Trump are in the WWE Hall of Fame and Jim Johnston is not. Like, what the hell?
Let's get Jim Johnson in the Hall of Fame.
That's right.
Honestly. And I think there was talks of him going to AEW, but I don't think he had showed interest at all. I would have liked to see that, especially in the early days when AEW was like, everyone was signing. We had Dean Malenko go. We had Taz was there. I was thinking, like, if there's anybody I expect to go give like the middle finger to WWE, like I'm going with the competition, it would have been Jim Johnston.
To Adam's point, like honoring those people who kind of make it what it is, maybe behind the scenes. Like we've inducted commentators and coaches and things like that. But I think they've also inducted or honored like seamstresses and costume designers who have designed the game. Like in that vein, like please, like let's put Jim Johnston in the Hall of Fame. I know this isn't like a new thing. I know we're not the only ones to say this, but like every song that we mentioned on our Mount Rushmore, I think every one of them was written by Jim Johnston.
No, absolutely. Do you guys have a favorite theme song? Do you guys have a favorite musical theme song from a wrestler that is done by a famous artist? Adam?
Oh yeah, I mean, other than the Rey Mysterio POD, which I like. Do you know, both of CM Punk's WWE themes have been great. In terms of like a song, I really like Cult of Personality.
Okay.
It just rips. It's such a great song to have on in the car.
I've had the pleasure
I'd go with that.
I've had the pleasure of seeing In Living Color on the Fremont Street. They performed it live on a free show. And I'm not never mind, I won't say it. Well, yeah, I'm not a huge Phil fan, but I will give CM Punk the respect that his music has always been it.
Yep.
His mic skills are second to none. And just the aura that I respect him as a talent. So I will give him that. Both, and also the song that he used for his final Ring of Honor show, the Bouncing Soul song, Night Train. He came out to that song. He came out where he was crying. Yep. I thought that was such a beautiful moment, even though how could you not respect what he's done for the business, especially in those early days? Charles, do you have a favorite musical song?
So, Adam, the way that I've kind of thought about this is kind of like you alluded to with Cult of Personality by Living Color. Like, I thought of a song that was already made and like it wasn't made for the purpose of wrestling, but it was attached to a wrestler, and now it's the only thing people associate with it. You know, like it existed, it had a life before wrestling, and then it just got attached to wrestling, and it blew up, right? So the first thing that comes to my mind, I was already a fan of this song before, and then now it's just like ingrained in me, is a song called Metalingus by Alter Bridge, which is better known as
The Edge.
So, when I first heard that, it was before they added the "You Think You Know Me." Like I just heard it on the Alter Bridge record, but now it's like forever ingrained in my memory, and it gets me. That's another one, like we mentioned with "Sexy Boy" or the Road Dogg theme song. Like to this day, I think recently, Edge and AEW, they're still. I mean, the crowd. It's like if the music stops, the crowd will not stop until they finish singing it, and they know all the words. So I think that's Metalingus by Alter Bridge is my top for sure.
Piggybacking on what you just said, they also do it to Judas, and I hope. The rumors, might as well say it right now, and this could even become a real because it's going to be hopefully next week. If Jericho returns to WWE, I do not want the Break the Walls theme song.
But honorable mention, the Break the Wall theme song, one of my favorite entrance songs of the Attitude Era. Like, still like
absolutely.
This is the countdown.
For sure. But I need Judas. I need them to acknowledge the fact that there has been growth with Jericho, and we need to hear Judas underneath the WWE banner. And that would show that they are not afraid of not mentioning, like what they would do with TNA.
Well, we just got Matt Cardona on SmackDown.
And we just did, exactly. So, hopefully that happens. But, to answer my own question, number one musical artist sung wrestling theme song, Seek and Destroy by Metallica.
Which
Sting.
Was who?
Sting.
Sting came out to Metallica?
Yeah.
When did I miss this? When did Sting come out to
Always.
Metallica?
No. Not ever? Always?
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure? What?
Yeah.
When did this happen? What did you know about this, Adam?
Big Sting guy.
You're not a big Sting. Okay,
And
so
back in the 90s, I had no way of watching WCW. So it was
Okay.
it was WWF or nothing.
Okay.
And like it's only in my renaissance of wrestling that I've really
Okay.
broadened my horizons.
Okay.
No, yeah, for sure. It was actually started in WCW towards the later years, but then
crazy.
AEW purchased the rights, and they would do it during the Wembley shows, the all-in shows in Wembley, and it was when he would come out with Darby Allin.
That's just a cool song in general. I love Seek and Destroy, but yeah, that's I wore this in part when I knew we were speaking to you. I'm a huge sucker for like wrestling T-shirts that combine music, and I got this one that's Penta and Iron Maiden. I've got a bunch of other ones that kind of cross. I've got one that's it looks like the Motorhead logo, but it says Jushin Thunder Liger on it. Like it's
nice.
Yeah. So I'm a sucker for any like wrestling music crossovers. I wore this just for you, Adam.
Place.
Going back to you, Adam, what were your musical influences when it became for you become your own artist?
Yeah. I mean, I grew up around a load of music. So my dad wrote musicals.
Really?
So there's a lot of like musical theater and like old school, like black and white movies, and then kind of 60s folk. Paul Simon, huge
nice.
Paul Simon fan. Still a
Okay.
huge Paul Simon fan. And then in my teens and like early 20s, I was singing in like hardcore bands, and then
Nice.
found my way back to the folky, quiet stuff, mainly because you don't need other musicians. You don't need to be organized if it's just you and a guitar, and you can do it after your kids have gone to sleep.
Yeah.
Which you can't do if you're in a 6-piece hardcore band. So, yeah, those are my big ones. But yeah, huge fan of Bright Eyes as well, Conor Oberst. I think he
picked up on that.
Yeah, he's one of the best of my generation of songwriters. Like, he's incredible.
I was gonna ask if you like literally on the drive over here. I was listening to there was a song of yours that said a heart of stone a heart of stone will break. Is that the title?
Heart of Stone Can Only Break.
A Heart of Stone Can Only Break. Listening to that on the way over here, that's the one I listened to all of your songs, and then that one is the one I listened to on repeat before I got here, and I was thinking like, I wonder if he listened to Bright Eyes and Iron and Wine, and I wonder if you listened to Bon Iver. I was kind of hearing maybe even Elliott Smith. I kind of heard a little bit of that for you.
I like the song Angela.
For sure.
Angeles.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, loads of Bon Iver. Those first 2 Iron and Wine albums are amazing. I think as well because they're so rough.
Yes.
And I loved that whole era, like early noughties, where people were rediscovering like recording on a tape deck. So yeah, Elliott Smith, Moldy Peaches, Iron and Wine, just that like, just do it. Just write a song, record it, get it out there. Really, really love that. And I'm a sensitive soul at heart.
Yeah.
I like a little slow acoustic song. I like a little introspection.
I wanted to ask if you listened to one of my personal favorites is somebody. There's a songwriter from Ireland by the name of Glenn Hansard. Are you familiar with Glenn?
Oh, I know the name.
He was in a group called Swell Season. They had a song called Falling Slowly, but that was another one that I thought of for you as far as just like with a focus on storytelling and like songwriting, and just really, I think one of the strengths that I picked up from your music in particular was like even like the non-wrestling songs, right? Like I thought you have a really good sense of kind of like creating a snapshot and like really taking people and putting them in the scene. Like you kind of write songs the way that people take old school photos before they were all digital. You know, like it's just a moment in time for you.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. So that's really encouraging and gratifying.
Yeah.
You had a post.
Yeah, and I love when people can do that.
Mm-hmm. You had a post that I noticed, and you were holding up a certain album, which was Kiss's Destroyer album. Does that mean anything to you specifically?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No. I was doing.
He was like shaking
No, I was
his
just out
head.
with a friend of mine. He's a photographer, and we were like, "What would get across my personality here?" So we were taking photos
Okay.
in like a library and a bookstore, and I was like, "This kind of gets across this kind of vaguely wordy singer-songwriter thing." We went to a record store, and I was just holding up. So I use this one a lot, which is a record. Like I'm kind of holding it up. By the Greedies, which is like a spin-off of Thin Lizzy,
Oh yeah.
who released a novelty Christmas song in like the I think early 80s or late 70s. But yeah, the Kiss Destroy one, I just thought it'd be funny, so I just held
Okay.
it. I don't hate Kiss.
Okay, cool. Cut
I have
down
no
a
emotional
good portion
connection
of the
to
interview.
them.
I'm like, okay, we won't
So
go
that's
there.
but like I guess to tag team off of what Damien was saying, and maybe you already mentioned some of them. Like it sounds like Bright Eyes is very influential on you. If you were to do a musical Mount Rushmore that could look at your wrestling Mount Rushmore, who would the other three faces be? Maybe along with Conor Oberst.
Oh, songwriters for sure. Okay. I go Paul Simon. I think he is potentially the best of all time. Connor. I'd go Joanna Newsom.
Okay. Okay.
Who was like big in the early noughties. She plays the harp. She just has the most incredible way of like playing with words and using words in a way that's really fun and imaginative. And you can tell she's just loving it. And is married to Andy Samberg from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Power couple. He hasn't made anything for a little while though, which I'm sad about. Sufjan Stevens
Yes.
would probably be my fourth. He can write about anything. He's a guy that like he could make 100 wrestling albums. Like he could write about a shoe, and make it incredible. Like he can write about a serial killer and make you feel sorry for them. Like
Yes.
he's an incredible storyteller.
Yes.
Just the right amount of kind of weirdly obsessive, which I think really works for songwriting. So I'd probably have a different four tomorrow, but they'd be in or around it usually.
Right.
Those guys.
Oh, those are some great. I definitely picked up on that. Those are some really cool influences, and I like how. I like how diverse and like each person you picked kind of has like their own musical fingerprint on the world, So I think that's really cool.
We're like going towards the end of the segment, and I still got probably two questions to ask and see if we can fit these in. Are you a film buff, Adam? Do you watch movies?
Oh, I mean, I watch movies. I wouldn't describe myself as a buff, but I have two kids, so my time to watch movies is slightly limited. So I've seen K-pop Demon Hunters.
Okay.
Wait, can you repeat the title of that? What was it called?
K-pop.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
Okay, I don't have kids. You have to educate me. I'm sorry.
It's something very popular right now.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a huge. It was like a huge Netflix release. It didn't get a cinematic release, and it went straight to Netflix, which was this whole thing because people thought people didn't want to watch a K-pop related movie about demons. Mm-hmm. Incredible soundtrack, so good. You should check it out.
Okay, I'm gonna see it today. Yeah,
I can't believe it must have made it to the US, right?
It is. No, it is. It's just it's more popular with the children.
Yeah,
right now. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Don't let me be the litmus test for that one. I'm just clueless. Yeah.
There's a question that I ask all my guests whenever I have the pleasure of sitting down and talking to them. The Adam Kirkup biopic has been greenlit. You have creative control. Who's directing your film?
Oh, Edgar Wright.
Edgar. Oh, whoa.
So he did Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Okay.
Oh, another musical film.
I knew it sounded familiar.
Yeah, musical film, and a bunch of I guess films. He did Baby Driver.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Leo
nice.
DiCaprio and Kevin Spacey, right?
Yeah. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Kevin Spacey, yeah, and
Kevin Spacey. Leo's not in
the.
No, he's who's in that?
Ansel.
Oh my God,
that
Ray.
guy. Yeah.
But good choice for a director. What's the title of the film?
Oh. Weird little guy. Maybe something like that. That's a phrase we use a lot in our house. Like, if someone's really into what they're doing and they're like committed to it. So like Sufjan Stevens, he's a weird little guy. Mick Foley, he's really committed to the bit. He's a weird little guy. Or maybe committed to the bit would be another one. But yeah, I like Ed Wright because it'd be very stylish. It'd be very musical. I'd want it to be weird. So I'd call it a weird little guy. I feel like that's the direction we're going in here.
Who is
Very
portraying
self-effacing British?
Who is portraying Adam Kirkup?
Do you know who I love? He's my age, probably, but has a beard and I don't. Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Opening title
Because
Okay, I see that.
he's a weird little guy. Is what I was going to say. Daniel Radcliffe is a classic weird little guy.
Yeah. Opening title sequence song.
Okay, I think opening title sequence is going to be some kind of musical awakening, right? It's me becoming aware of the power of song and music. So it's probably going to be Shania Twain, Still the One.
Yes. Oh, that's such a great song.
It's going to be me in a car, Daniel Radcliffe playing me, Jamie Lee Curtis playing my mum, singing
wow.
Shania Twain in the car together.
Dude, you have a hot mom.
There you go, opening sequence. Yeah.
How does the biopic end?
Oh. Yeah, if I knew that, if I knew where all this was heading, that'd be great. Maybe it ends with me on stage with Mick Foley.
Hey.
Maybe that's the pinnacle. Maybe that's
it.
That's
and
the
then,
heights I'm going to reach. Let's go with that.
Okay.
Let's go with me on stage in Dublin.
Awesome.
Singing my own song, not somebody else's song.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. I love that questionnaire. Honestly, it's such a thing that like I could see the creative gears rolling in your head. Honestly, and you brought up some really good answers. First of all, we're gonna wrap it up. First off, Charles, thank you for being here, being my co-host today. My first time having a co-host. I appreciate for you making this opportunity happen, man. Honestly, I'm a big fan of law of attraction and just kind of being with the right people and putting things out in the world. You never know. And Adam, thank you for taking the time today for coming on to the Cutting Room Podcast. Do you have Instagrams, social medias where people can find you and follow?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm just at Adam Kirkup, which is KIRKUP. Adam Kirkup on Spotify and Apple Music and anywhere you find music. And a special version of Hell is in Pittsburgh Tonight coming sometime soon.
And
I'm going to keep the rest of it secret, but it's going to be pretty special. It's going to be fun.
And then any chance that we get an Adam Kirkup appearance, your kids want to come to Disneyland in California, maybe help you book some shows out here?
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, anytime.
Okay.
Anytime. Let's make it work.
Yeah.
I've been looking at the visas. They take a long time to get, so we'll, just give me some lead time and we can work it out.
We'll talk to our people.
Right.
Charles, your Instagram, social medias where people can follow you.
Yeah, you can find me at Charles Grace Music on Instagram and TikTok.
Nice. I would like to say that both of these musical artists are great in their own realms and everything that they do. Very talented, very passionate, both wrestling fans. And like I always say here on the Cutting Room Podcast, that's a wrap today. And like I always say, pro wrestling is cinematic, but today and as always, it is also musical. Thank you, Adam. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. That's a wrap on Adam.
All right.
And
thank you.
That's a cut.